In 2024, I either have to stop spending money like I'm moving bricks or actually start moving bricks. This is Epic Thoughts.
Hi, my name is Colin Bird. I got to create this awesome TV show. I'm a little biased because I lived it. It's called The Efficient. Each day that you're still breathing, you use those breaths to pray positive prayers for other people in these halls and for your family in your home. And that is this deal. It's about a young nursing home chaplain who's got to fight for the rights of all of these people who are overlooked. I'm sure you've seen them or known them, had them in your family. When people kind of get locked away and they get left alone, and he's fighting for them. But there's also something else he's fighting. It's the end of their world. And as tragic as that is, they got a gift. They're seeing things that we don't see, but the chaplain starts to see them. And I actually saw them, and I lived it, and I got to write a story about it.
We need you being careful.
It's okay. I got my father's helmet. This project is so important. It's so important because it's so real. You're going to see yourself in this. And more importantly than that, you're going to see the people you love in this thing. Everybody experiences it. If you haven't, God bless you, but it's coming. And we have something for you, a tool right now to show the way that people actually act when things hit the fan like this. When it comes to the heart condition, you're going to be there. You've been there. You've seen it. It hurts, but there's joy in it too. And if you look close enough, there's something else going on around you.
This fire.
I will petition your bucket kicking each day till you die, but each day you're alive, you live. One of the many reasons why this is important to you, and I believe in this for you, is because, like I said, you're not just going to live it, but the things that I got to see, that if you talk to anybody, go talk to a chaplain, go into the nursing home, ask questions, get to know those people, because not just do they have a legacy, but they're starting a new one, and it's eternal, and things show up. I saw it up and down the halls. You want to see what I saw? Watch the show. And here's how you get involved. Right now, there's a QR code in front of you. If you're on your phone, there's a link. It takes you to an investment page. This is your chance to be a part of a movement, something spectacular in an 8-episode, 1-season form. It's not like anything you've ever seen. Go to that page, be a part of, take the opportunity to be a part of a movement that's going to change the landscape of the cinematic industry. And hopefully make some they will make really positive changes in your life and in your life of your family.
No weapon formed against us shall stand.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to another episode, another year, another season of Epic Thoughts. This is season number 8. Dang, 8, bro. This is our 8th year doing Epic Thoughts. I'm your host, Ramon. Thanks for joining me on my show today. Man, Happy New Year. We are 7 or 8 days. What day? Or we're 9. We're 9 days into the new year. Happy New Year to you all. Hope that you had a safe and peaceful, restful holiday season. And it's so happy to have you back here with us. Man, let's get right into it, man. We're 9 days into the new year, and I'm behind the 8 ball on this one because we're 9 years in and 9 days into the new year. And January 8th is the anniversary of Epic Thoughts. So normally I like to wait until around the 8th to drop the first episode of the year because I'm just a creature of habit that way. So the 8th is official. So the 8th is officially our anniversary. So today being the 9th, I was going to just walk away and go home today, but something was like, you got to be consistent. That's been your battle for like forever. So go and do your new episode for the new year. So here we are. Now, with that being said, I got to point out, man, new year brings new opportunities, new joys, new pieces, and new battles, man. And bro, we didn't even get to day. I don't even know if we got to day 6 of the new year before there was drama, right? And if you don't know this drama, I'm gonna share a little bit about it. But this, I'm not really trying to get into the context of what was shared, but about on January 5th or 6th, um, one of, in my opinion, one of the funniest men on the planet, Cat Williams, did a interview with Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay. And I wasn't paying any attention to it. I was looking on Instagram and I started noticing all these clips with Cat Williams. And these clips were really like him going in on people. He was really being aggressive about stuff. He's really going off. And it was like 4 or 5 different clips. There was a clip about Steve Harvey. Then there was a clip about Kanye, a clip about Cedric the Entertainer. And I was like, man, Cat Williams going in on people. And so then finally I was like, it's everywhere, right? Everyone's talking about it. Everybody's posting about it. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, we gotta go find out what's happening. So I end up watching. It's a 2-hour and 50-minute podcast on Club Shay Shay. And Shannon Sharp tried his best to keep controversy away, but Cat had some things that he had to get off his chest, and he did that. He definitely spilled the beans and let it out. Now, I can't really disrespect him on it because it wasn't like he came in guns blazing starting fights, and it kind of seems that way. But if you watch the podcast, you'll know. And I don't know if you watched it, but I'll tell you what, 39 million as of today, 39 million people have watched this podcast. 39 million. That's a lot of people. So Cat really went in on some things, and what he did was basically. And Cat's not one to kind of look for press. He doesn't really look for podcasts. There's certain people in the industry that I see all the time doing podcasts and interviews. And sometimes I wonder if they're doing it because they need the attention. Are they trying to get some workout? Are they trying to put themselves out there? I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do, but I could tell you right now from my experience, Cat Williams is a guy who never really tries to do that. That's not his thing. So with that being said, for him to get up here, that's one thing. That's for him to be on there. He even makes a statement like, dude, he's done Larry King, and pretty much that's quite not much after that. So he's very selective who he's going to sit on the couch with and share. And the point of him being on here was, he said in the first 10 minutes of the podcast, he's on here because he was wanted to set something straight, because some of the other guests on his show that came on the couch, Will Smith was another person he talked about, sat on the couch and shared their stories and stuff like that. Cat being firsthand knowledge, being part of the community of comedy and community of the industry, being part of that, he watched and he listened to these people make statements that weren't necessarily true. Some going as far as disrespecting people who aren't here no more. For example, Bernie Mac and Patrice O'Neal. So Cat felt like it was his place to set the record straight and say some truths that people weren't sharing. Man, I'll tell you what, if you haven't watched this podcast, he goes in really hard. And I caught myself listening to the whole 2 hours and 49 minutes of this podcast. I had a lot of thoughts about it. And I'm pretty sure if we brought Carla in or some of the homies, they definitely have thoughts about it. But you know what bothered me so much is the way we as a people we're so fickle about what energy we're allowing into the world, right? Not to say that what he did was detrimental or negative or anything like that, but the response to it was like, okay, the new year starts, everyone's got goals. Hooray, I'm going to do this and I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to raise money. I'm going to hooray, new year. Hooray, we're going to kill it in the new year. All right. 5 days in, Cat Williams is like, really? Let's see how far you're going to take that. And already within the first week of the new year, we're back to the same old talking about other things that have nothing to do with us. Like at the end of the day, let's be really honest. At the end of the day, that world has nothing to do with Ramon, right? That world has nothing to do with you. Who really cares who stole who really cares who stole what joke, right? Like I get what he's saying, and I would be mad too if I was a comedian, somebody stole my joke and they're on national. That would make me very, very, very upset. However, I want to point out to you that you have a life to live. You still have stuff to do. You have a purpose in your life. You have a purpose that you have to go through. You still have to live out your life. You still got to live out your purpose. You start to live out your fire. And my battery is about to die. So this is ghetto as all heck. But I don't want the battery to die in the middle of the podcast, so I gotta plug in the charger. Hold on. I know it's ghetto. Don't judge me. Okay, great. Sorry about that. Back to our show. What was I saying? Oh, you already so quickly something has come to take focus away, right? And maybe you're not like me. Maybe you were focused. Maybe you're just like, oh, great. But I'm telling you, like, and I don't have a positive mantra that I need to share with you today as we go into the new year. I don't have a positive mantra. I don't have a mantra that's like, all right, new me in 2024. Or what would be the rhyme? No more in 24. No more what? I don't know. No, like people coming to the new year, you have all these great ideas and excitement. Now, me, if you could tell by my voice, I have not been 100% at my best because I went through some really health things in the last couple of weeks, so it's been really kind of tough. With that being said, I couldn't go to the gym, even though I'm down 25 pounds. Yes. Give it up for the 25 pounds. Even though I'm down 25 pounds, I went to the gym one day this year so far. In the 9 days, I've gone to the gym one day. That was yesterday. And I could tell you right now, it's ridiculous, right? The gym has never been more packed, ever. So, maybe tomorrow it'll get better. But the one thing I do know is that eventually it fizzles. Eventually it fades. Eventually, all the people who've been making their places and making their new choices and making their new plans, and here's my plans, and and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I'm going to get ripped for the summertime. They're already by Martin Luther King Day, which is Monday. I feel like it'll start to fizzle, and you won't see as many people there. And people will find their way back into their old, dusty, bad routines. They're going to find their way back. Just give them time. And that's sad to say. It's an approach that we don't want to take. I don't want people to go through that. But just the last 9 days shows that we're not really ready. People are not really doing change. Like people are not really trying to get out there and make the difference that they need to make to establish change in their life. So the question is, how do we do it? What's the key? And what do we need to start doing? Well, first things first, we have to stop being distracted all the time. We have to turn off distractions. You have to eliminate. You can't add stuff without taking stuff out. If you want something incredible to happen in the new year, we gotta eliminate things that take away, right? So like if you want to lose weight, then you gotta take away something that is a distractor or something that will will not be able to help you get to that goal that you want in life. So, whatever it may be, sleep, for example, right? So if you want to go to the gym, you're going to have to tell yourself, you're going to have to give yourself a time to go to the gym. You're going to have to make time to go to the gym. So in order to make time to go to the gym, either you can't just, it's not in you yet because it's only been 9 days. It's not in you yet to get up and go to the gym. You got to take a time and put it down on paper. You have to speak it out, write it down, and say, okay, from 5 to 6, I'm going to the gym, or 5 to 6:30, or when I get home from work, right at 6, I got an appointment at the gym at 6 o'clock. You have to make those appointments with yourself, and you can't back out of them. All right. But you may have to take away something, because listen, there's always, as long as you've lived, there's always been a 5 a.m. You just been sleep a lot of it. So maybe you're losing sleep now. So I'm going to sacrifice sleep at 5 a.m. to go to the gym. 5 to 6. If you wake up at 7, push your alarm clock back to 4:45 so you can get some shoes on and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna start the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna get up and I'm going to lose sleep, but I'm going to add this. I'm going to add this moment to my new lifestyle. I'm going to add this, and I'm going to take this away and add this. So now I got a plan. I've taken away my sleep, but I've replaced it with going to the gym. So sometimes we just make these lofty goals and we don't place them anywhere. We make lofty goals. There's no place to put it. You have no place to put the gym. So I'm gonna go to the gym, but you have no place to put it. So there's no time frame to put it in, because you're already, think about it, your time that you've been spending your whole life, the 24 hours a day that you have, you've already planned it out. There's habits, there's things in life that you already figured out. I do this from this time to this time, and then from this time I do this, and I pick up the kids at this time. Then I talk to the wife when she get home. Then I do this, and I do that. You already have that time slate. You have a time to go to work. You have a time to eat. You have a time to sleep. So you have to kind of fit it into your schedule and say, no, now I'm going to add this at this time. You want to start eating healthy, you're going to have to take away food that doesn't help you get your goal, right? So you're going to have to take away the sugar snacks. You're going to have to take away the trans fats. Well, actually, trans fats are not that bad. You're going to have to take away the carbs. You're going to have to make adjustments in your eating lifestyle. I think the problem is a lot of people just think that the day of the new year, or the aroma of the new year just automatically shifts things in your mind. And that's not how it works. And the other thing is too, that I'm learning, and I'm learning the lesson over and over again, is sometimes you have to, instead of trying to change something, what you're essentially doing is you're changing everything, right? My goal is to change everything. I want to be a different person. Not to say I don't like myself, because I love Ramon. I really, really do. But I want Ramon to evolve to a better version of myself. I want to, and I'm trying to be a better version of myself. Within that new version of myself, this Ramon does things differently than the old Ramon does. So in the new version, he handles situations differently. How does he handle situations? And this is stuff that you have to kind of take time, and you have to write things down. You have to have meetings with yourself. You're gonna have to get help to get there. So I go, there's certain things that Ramon, I want this new Ramon. I see him, and he responds to things differently. He's a little bit more patient in his words. He doesn't snap at people. He's smart. He shares things differently. He's very open about what he believes. He doesn't he's not negative. Do you see what I'm saying? That he's motivated. He's influential. People listen to him. People follow him. He's inspirational. People like working for him. People like working with him. He's a good person. He keeps his word. So all these things, these are things that I see that the new Ramon, or the Ramon that I want to be. So then now, when certain situations come up and they're starting to affect this Ramon, I can stop and say, okay, so the new Ramon, that person I'm becoming, does he handle this situation this way, like I've always been handling it? Or does he handle it in a situation that's more beneficial to him? Right? Does he handle things with grace, or is he really super aggressive? Is he how does he handle things? What does he do? What makes him different than everybody else? Like all these things we have to kind of take into consideration. And that's how you make change. Does the Rahman I'm trying to be, the Rahman I'm going to become, does he eat the whole cheesecake? Cheesecake is out there. You should never, under any circumstance, eat a whole cheesecake. Okay. But does this Rahman eat the whole bag of Cool Ranch Doritos? Does he even eat Cool Ranch Doritos? Like these are questions. This is the definition of reinventing yourself. Like I'm reinventing myself. Is this who I am? Is this how I approach food? Is this how I approach life? Is this how I approach music? Is this what I'm trying to do with my life? You gotta do those things. You have to, right? Especially if you're trying to make change. Now, listen, if you're not trying to get change in your life and you just listen, I like being me and nobody else, then hey, what I'm saying means nothing to you. It means absolutely nothing to you. But not a lot of people, I don't want to say no one, because you may be one of those people. So I like who I am. But some people, they want better. They want better for themselves. They wish better for themselves. Some people you may have to just disconnect with this year. You hear this. We hear this all the time, right? But how often do we really disconnect from people? There's people, and I know in my life, I just need to stop answering the phone as much. So I just in the last 9 days, I don't answer the phone as much because there's people who take away from you. Listen, if you don't draw the line in some of your relationships and say, listen, I'm not going to allow this, and you don't have to have, I don't know. You may want to talk to somebody else. What do I know? But I don't feel like you need to have the conversation with them when you're talking to them face to face. Like, I'm not having any more. You're not taking away from me no more. Because then it's going to turn to a fight. Because then your homie's like, what? I take away from you? So, but it's simple to not answer a phone call no more. Given to the text message. Not gossip as much, right? I have been in places in the last 9 days where I've said, hey, man, I don't care. Did you hear what Cat Williams said about I truly honestly don't care. I thought the interview was really good because I like good interviews because I'd like to hear from the core of a person. I don't really care about what Cat thinks about Kevin Hart, right? Or what Cat thinks of Steve Harvey. Because listen, it ain't going to change the way I feel about Steve Harvey. It ain't going to change the way I feel about Cedric the Entertainer. I like who I like because I like the way I like it, right? So it gives me in depth into what the world is like, I guess, and it kind of gives perspective. And again, I don't know how much I believe Cat Williams, but again, who cares, right? Who cares how much I believe him, right? He shared his heart, he made good content, and it was a good interview. And listen, we still gotta get up and go to work tomorrow. Okay. You still gotta go feed your family tomorrow, right? So his interview doesn't change the narrative for your life. You still gotta go through life. You still gotta do what you gotta do. You still gotta make things happen. You still have to hustle, right? And that is what it is, man. I wish it was more, but it's not. That's exactly what it is. So shout out to my man Cat Williams. But like I said, when people want to bring that stuff to me, I truly don't care. I don't care. And I don't know how many times last year I've caught myself, and I have caught myself being on the phone, gossiping or talking about things that have nothing to do with me or the person I'm talking to. Right? It's always, hey, did you hear about somebody else? I don't care. I let me tell you how much I don't care. I have a favorite football team. I have a favorite basketball team. I have a favorite baseball team. Now, it helps in my journey that my favorite teams are irrelevant. But at the same time, when people call me, I used to take the phone. I used to get so emotional when the Clippers would lose a game, or I'll get so emotional about, the Raiders and going through the their coaches stuff, and I used to get so fired up and worked up about every little thing. And me and my homie, we talk for hours. This is what the Clippers need to do is they need to sign such and such and such and such. If they get no, they're going to the Lakers. Okay, but do they got the best defense in the league? Man, they got the best defense in the West. Blah 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 blah. And one day it hit me like this don't matter. It does not matter. It's not going to make my life any better. It's not going to make my life worse. The conversation about whether the Clippers have the best rebounding team on the West Coast doesn't change my life not one bit, not one iota. It doesn't change anything. The fact that people were texting me like, ooh, Ichiro left Anaheim. He came to Dodger Stadium. What you think about that? I don't think anything about it because it doesn't affect my life not one bit. Now, as a fan, okay, yeah, it stinks. But at the end of the day, and that's what I said. I was like, oh, that stinks. And that's how much money Ichiro makes. And I was like, we all losers. Everybody's a loser. Everybody's a loser. That man set up a deal, made a deal with the Dodgers to set him up for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life. And we're still broke. So at the end of the day, it really didn't matter. It's the best situation for him because he was smart. He made the deal. He gambled on himself. And now he's in a place where he's going to be able to make money and provide for his family and have generational wealth. That deal is generational wealth. What deal did you make since then? We haven't made any deals. I'm going to be really honest with you. Heritage Park has made no deals since the Ichiro deal. We have made no deals to talk about. I'll take it a step further. Oh man. See, I'm having my own Cat Williams crisis right now. Should I stop? What does the scripture say? What does the Bible say? How about that? How about we go to what the Bible say? Oh man. Because here's the thing. Like, I can be really honest and I can talk about things. I could be really honest and talk about things that have to do with Heritage Park. And I can be honest and say, hey, you know what? This is things that we've gone through in the last 9 days or since the Ichiro deal. Let's just say that, right? And we did a lot, like a lot of people. We've done a lot of talking. And I will quote Cat Williams when he said this statement. He made a statement that really hit me. He said he was talking to Shannon Sharpe, and Shannon Sharpe, if you don't know his background, he is a Super Bowl champion. I believe he was a tight end, but I know he was a receiver of some sort. I know him and his brother Sterling were. I really thought Sterling was a game player too, ball player too. I think Shannon was a wide receiver or a tight end. He was one of them. Anyways, and Sterling was the other one. So whatever Shannon was, Sterling was the opposite. Here it is, Romans 12:3. Because of the privilege and authority God has given me, I give each of you this warning. Don't think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluation of yourself, measuring yourself by the faith God has given us. So don't, everyone's like, wait, you see me this year, blah, 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 blah. Don't think highly than you are. All right. Don't think so highly of who you are now. And I think that's one of the reasons why Cat went off the way he did, because he was tired of people, his compadres, acting like they were higher than they actually are. And why people do that? Because most of us don't feel real comfortable with who we go to bed with. And I'm not talking about like your spouse or anything. I'm talking about your own skin. Like people are so insecure, they don't like who they've become. So they puff themselves up to be something that they're not. Listen. Everybody does it. Celebrities do it. Artists do it. Pastors do it. You do it. I do it. And if you really, really want to break that thing down, you have to start taking some clear evaluations of what's happening in your life, right? So I've taken some clear evaluations of what's happening in Heritage Park. And personally, I feel like we failed 2023. As a CEO, I feel like we failed 2023. We have dropped one record in 2023 and 0 films. We've done 0 films in 2023, and we've dropped 1 record. And the record that we dropped early this year charted. It started off the year as a banger. We were like, oh man, we about to change the game. And that was all we did. That's all we did. We have some rough scripts around here. We started shooting a pilot, and then everything kind of just fizzled because here's the deal. We did not adjust to the people that we wanted to become. This is what happens when sometimes our brain gets ahead of the action. Our brain gets ahead of the plan. Our brain gets ahead of the goal. And sometimes people forget you have to work. We think the environment changes us. We think just because I thought it, all this name it and claim it and believe it and receive it, that's cool. But if there's no action behind the thoughts, then you're not going to make it. It's not going to change. You're not going to do anything. So we released 1 record, which was a pretty great record. It's Kevin's album. And we've done no features. Right? We've done no features. So now here's 2024. We have this huge list. Like I'm talking about a long freaking list of all these projects that we want to do in 2024. In order to do it, we cannot come at 2024 the way we came at 2023. But anyways, the plan, the quote that Kat said that I love so much is when he told Shannon Sharp, he was like, you've been in situations where you face teams that were better than you on paper, but let's get on the line, boy, and see if we can work this out. Then he did this when he kind of stood up and like he was in a 3-point stance. And that did something to me when he said that. So let's get on this line, boy, and see if we can work this out. Let's toe it up. And so this year, I believe, is the year that you got to toe the line. Okay. And I'm not talking about toe the line with statements and your posts and your Instagram posts or your Facebook posts. I'm talking about real life action. Can you take action this year? Can you change the generational wealth gap in your family? Can you really, really not just lose the weight, but can you keep it off in 2024? This is the year where, look, money talks and BS walks. This is the year you toe the line and you make things happen, right? That's what I've been feeling. And I'm going to tell you right now, 9 days into the new year, I failed 5 of the 9. Thank God there's 365. And you don't have to be perfect every day, but you got to move forward, right? You have to have your goal, and then you have to have your plan. You can't have just your goal and no plan. And you can't have your plan and no goals. You have to do something. You have to every day make a journey, step to that person that you want to be. And you know what? It's going to start with maybe turning off the phone earlier. Maybe actually going to sleep and not taking your phone with you to bed. That might be something you want to do. Right? Maybe we should stop taking our phones to bed and scrolling. How many times have you been scrolling and be like, oh, I got to leave in 10 minutes. Scroll, hours gone by. Is that just me? Am I the only one that's gone through that? I know I'm not. So it's time, man. The world that you want to live, and I'm thankful. I've never once wanted to be somebody else. I take that back. I've always wanted to be like a celebrity or something like that. But I never wanted to be younger than I am now. So I never wanted to be a millennial. And I never wanted to be a Gen Z. Thank God. I never wanted to be them, and I never envied them. I never envied millennial. I never, ever wanted to be a boomer, and I never envied them. So I'm very proud to be an X. I'm Gen X, and I'm proud of it. The one thing I love about being a Gen X is that we still have time to make adjustments to live the life we want, knowing the new information that the Zs and the millennials have. Like, I can't imagine. The scariest part of growing up was looking at my dad and my mother's life and thinking, oh my God, like if I don't pick the right career, I'm going to be working for 50 years. And my parents worked hard, long, and they extended for a very long time. And I didn't want that life. I wanted more. I wanted to, and my parents weren't poor. Like my parents were the definition of what Dave Chappelle used in a reference when he said, I grew up rich enough to look poor around. No, wait, I grew up good enough to look rich in front of white people. That was my upbringing, right? That's exactly what we were. We had just enough money to look wealthy around white people. So that's just what my life was. Now, thank God that I got to grow and learn about the internet, watch the beginning of the internet, because Gen Xers, we got to see the beginning of the internet. We were the guinea pig of it. We were the guinea pig of the internet. We were the guinea pig of cell service. We were the guinea pigs of all the stuff that we take for granted now, right? So we were the Gen Xers where we were like, let's try it with these kids and see how they take it. And it started off with MySpace. Social media started with MySpace, and the Gen Zs and some and the older millennials really gravitated to it, and we loved it. Or we take it back to AOL. I don't know, was it AOL chat? You wouldn't know. AOL had the chat. That was our guinea pig. They tried it out on us to make sure it was working, and they worked out all the kinks with the Gen Xers. So then millennials came in, Facebook was taken over, and they had a really good product on their hand, and therefore social media was created. So we grown up to the point to where we know enough about it because we were the testers. They tested it on us. And same thing with cell service, because cell phones wasn't a big thing until we got into the age where we were able to afford it. And it was right at the beginning where they were starting to try it. Let's try it. 10 cents a minute, 5 cents a minute. Okay, okay. How about it? What if all the incoming calls were free and outgoing calls? Okay, cool. So we would call somebody, hey, call me back. I don't got free incoming. So we used to do all that. Okay, that was all that. Or texting used to cost money. So you couldn't text like how girls text now, where they'll send you a text and then send you another text. It'll be like, dear God, come up with a completed sentence and send me the text. Don't send me like 7 or 8, because they used to charge us for each text that they would send us. And then they were like, okay, so we're going to do 100 texts for free. And then after that, it's going to be 5 cents a text. And so we were the guinea pigs. So I'm glad that I got to go through that, because now I know how to maneuver in this world and make something out of anything, right? People are making great money doing some awesome things. There are some bad plans. You just got to be aware of them and pray that God gives you discernment to get you out of bad deals and bad plans and stuff like that. But you can't now. You have no excuse. It used to be, well, nobody makes it from me. Nobody makes it from the town I live in. And that was never the truth, but we used to be something like that. Like, every black movie with kids, with young people, from School Days all the way to Dangerous Minds. Even there's 2 movies that slipped in my mind. Julia Stiles dancing. I can't remember that movie, what it's called. And then there's another one where Antonio Banderas is teaching ballroom dancing to a bunch of urban kids, with the one white kid with the red hair who's the most ghettoest of all. And Sister Act, they all had these statements. Sister Act 2, not 1. Sister Act 2. There was always a black kid. It was like when the teacher or somebody would say, "You can make it," and the teacher will, not from where I came from. That's not the thing anymore, right? We don't live in that society no more. You can make it from anywhere, dude. I am like, again, haven't watched the whole football game at all this season. But I am so pumped for CJ Stroud to make his playoff appearance, because he's from our hood. He's from Rancho. He's a Rancho Cucamonga High School graduate. That's the coolest thing in the world, because we get to see people from our world make it. I'm rooting for you, CJ. I'm rooting for you, because none of my other teams are in the playoffs. So go ahead, man. That'd be great. Like that's something that brings me joy. And was it Jalen Daniels, the kid from San Bernardino? Man, I hope he plays in the NFL. I think his name is Jalen Daniels, the Heisman Trophy winner. Man, congratulations to you. Shout out to the IE doing it big. IE in the building. And now people are like Googling, like, who else was from the Inland Empire? And we got, Kawhi Leonard from the Inland Empire. We got Audio Slave. We got Shane Mosley, Sugar Free. This is like, the list goes on and on. There's people on there that I didn't know. I Googled IE celebrities and I was like, yo, JJ Fads from the IE? Like, shout out to JJ Fad. Anyways, I say all that to say, because of the internet and because of how social media works and because of where we are as a society, your geographic location means nothing to your reach. It means nothing to how far you can go. It means nothing to how well you can become. It means nothing. Age means nothing. Age means nothing anymore. Age is literally just a number, right? There, if you're older, you can make it. If you're younger, you can make it. If you're an itty bitty baby like my babies, you can make it. It doesn't matter anymore. You just have to have the right mindset. You just have to push forward. You just have to go after what you believe in. And you have to have a strategy. And if the strategy doesn't work, this is important to understand. If the strategy doesn't work, adjust. Just adjust. Just because you tried it once and it didn't work doesn't mean you should quit. Adjust and try it again. If that strategy doesn't work, adjust. How many times do I adjust, Ramon? You adjust until you get it right. And even then, you have to adjust. Then once you get it great, once you get it good, you have to adjust to get it great. Once you get it great, you have to adjust to make it phenomenal. You have to keep doing that until you make it. Because that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. You can do it. I say all that to say this. And I'm closing. I'm closing with this. Again, I don't have a clear, prophecy for 2023, but what I'm not going to do is lie to you and tell you that my gut feeling is, 2024 is going to be a year of blessings and miracles, and blah, 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 blah. I think it's going to be storms. There's going to be moments of greatness, moments of grief. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough because this world has created a system that for people to live and move throughout the system is strenuous. And the world is not going to release that hold. It's going to get tough. And I do believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe that if there ever was middle class, we're losing it this year. The scarcity mindset is huge. Scarcity is huge right now. And it's already been a world-renowned thing, scarcity, but now it's coming to the US in a great way. I think we're going to lose the middle class. The wealth gap is going to get huge this year. So you have to. This is not a flossing kind of thing. It's not make the money so you can floss. It's make the money so you can be the person that you want to be. Create the life that you want to create. Build the things you want to build. Travel the places you want to travel. Have friends with people you want to have friends with. And not just what people just hand you, what the system hands you, what the government hands you. This can't be that for you this year. It can't be that. And get some critical thinking going in, man. I do have a goal. One of my personal goals is to read. I want to read 20 books this year. So I started January 1st. I started with 2 books a month. That's the goal. 2 books a month. So my books for this month is Atomic Habits and oh my gosh, it's called. It's one of my favorite books so far. I like it. I'm thinking of chapters. The book is called. Dang it, I can't remember it. Losing Your Friends. Not Losing Your Friends. Oh, it's gonna bother me. I gotta find it. I gotta look it up. It's in my Audible. And listen, I read my books through Audible. I let Audible read it to me. Many people think that that's not reading. But I don't. I think it's perfect. What is it? Oh my God. It's called Your Friends Suck or something like that. Your friends suck or you don't have friends or something like that. And it's dealing with the people that are around you. So that's that. And Atomic Habits. Those are my first 2 books of the year. And maybe I should share about, maybe I should put a post on it about my books that I'm enjoying reading or something like that. But who knows? But listen, guys, you guys have got to. You have a new year. You got to get on there and do what you got to do, make things happen for you in the new year. All right. All right. Listen, heritageparkprod.com is the website. Get on it. Something's wrong with HPTV online through that link, but the HPTV is still up, but the link on the website's kind of funky right now. So we'll have to figure that out. I'll figure that out as much as possible. Dude, you guys are buying so much stuff right now. You're slowing down our the shipping department, which is cool. Keep buying. I don't care. Look, hey, I'm never gonna turn down money. So if you're gonna keep buying products, keep buying product. And we'll be out there, man. And then I think that's and then we're available on Roku's, Fire TVs, and stuff like that. Listen, man, we got a lot of stuff coming up this year. Got some great interviews coming through the door. Hopefully you'll still be here around with us, and we'll get this thing cracking, man. God bless you. Have a good week. Happy New Year to you. And let's do this thing. Peace.